there, welcome to English with Gabby. I'm Gabby, and my students are always asking me to teach them popular phrasal verbs in English. You see, native speakers love using phrasal verbs all day, every day. And since there are so many phrasal verbs in the English language, you need to learn as many as you can. One thing I want you to remember throughout this video is that most phrasal verbs have more than one meaning. Did you know that some phrasal verbs even have 5, 6, or 7 meanings? That's right. So phrasal verbs can be very overwhelming for students. So just take it one phrasal verb at a time. Make sure you watch until the end, because at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to best learn phrasal verbs. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you get all my weekly lessons. You ready to get started? Phrasal verb number 1. Add up. Add up has 2 popular meanings. The first one is to get the total number of something. We added up all of our money and together we had $200. The other meaning of add up, which is really common for native speakers to use, means to make sense. For example, her story doesn't add up. This means that something is not making sense in the other person's story. The next one is blow up. Blow up has a few different meanings, but I'm going to teach you the 2 most common meanings. The first one is to explode. For example, did you hear about the building that blew up downtown? The next meaning is to fill something with air or gas. For example, we spent 2 hours blowing up all the balloons for the party tonight. The next one is bring up. Bring up means to mention or talk about something. For example, you shouldn't bring up politics when you meet your girlfriend's family. The other meaning of bring up is to raise. For example, I was brought up in New York City. The next one is call off. Call off means to cancel. Did you hear that they called off their wedding next month? The next phrasal verb is come across. Come across means to find. While I was walking today, I came across a $50 bill. The second meaning of come across is to seem to have a particular quality. I know this is a little bit hard to understand, but let me give you an example. Wow, you came across as being very upset. That means that you sound like you are upset. The next phrasal verb is carry on. Carry on means to continue. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I interrupted. Carry on talking, carry on. It also means to behave in a stupid, foolish, or unwise way. Can you believe he was carrying on like that for 2 hours? The next one is come up with. Come up with means to think of something new. For example, this is amazing. You came up with this idea yourself. The next one is fall apart. Fall apart means to break into many different parts. For example, the box fell apart after it got wet. We also use this in a very emotional way, sort of like an emotional breakdown. The next one is get along and get along with. Get along means to be friends with someone. For example, they get along really well. Now we also say get along with, which is a 3-word phrasal verb. This means to have a great relationship with someone. They get along with their mother-in-law very well. The next one is get away. Get away means to escape. For example, the robbers got away before the police arrived. We also have get away with. This means to escape without punishment. For example, can you believe he got away with murder? He had no consequences or no punishment for his crime. We can also use this when we're leaving a place, not necessarily escaping. For example, I can't wait to get away from everything and go on vacation. The next one is get over. This means to recover. For example, it took me 2 weeks to get over the flu. It also means to stop being controlled or bothered by something. For example, last weekend I finally got over my fear of dogs. The next one is give up. Give up means to quit. Last year was very important because she decided to give up smoking. The next one is go on, and this one has a few different popular meanings. The first meaning is to continue. Oh, please go on. I'll ask my question later. Go on also means to happen. Hey guys, what's going on? That means what's happening. The next one is hold on. This one means wait. For example, I'm so sorry, can you hold on for 2 seconds? It also means to grab something really tightly. For example, like if you're at a theme park on a roller coaster, they're gonna tell you, hold on tight. The next one is look after. Look after means to watch or take care of someone. For example, hey, I'm going on vacation. Can you look after my dog while I'm gone? The next one is look forward to. This means to be excited for something that's happening soon. For example, I'm really looking forward to 2021. Aren't you? The next one is look up. Look up means to search. For example, I'm gonna look up the information on the website. The next one is make out. To make out means to see something clearly. For example, I can't make out what you wrote on the paper. How do you spell your name? Excuse me. The more common definition of make out is to kiss passionately. For example, those two have been making out for 15 minutes already. This is a very sexual kind of kissing. The next one is pass out. Pass out means to distribute. For example, can someone help me pass these tests out to the class? It also means to become unconscious, lose consciousness, or even fall asleep. For example, he passed out because he drank too much alcohol. Or, guys, I have to go home. I'm about to pass out. The next one is pull over. This is a really common driving phrasal verb, but it's very, very common in American culture. For example, hey, can we pull over? I can't find my phone. This is when you move your vehicle to the side of the road and you stop. Usually the police tell you to pull over, or you need to look for something in your car, or there's some kind of problem that you need to fix. The next one is to put down. This has quite a few meanings in English. One meaning of put down is to say something very negative to someone. For example, I had to quit because my manager is always putting me down. This means that the manager is always telling them negative things about themselves or telling them that they do things in a bad way. The next and more common meaning of put down is when you place an object on the floor. For example, put down your bags and come with me. Another way that we use put down is when, for example, we're buying a home or a car. They say, how much can you put down? Meaning, what deposit can you put down? What deposit can you leave? So if your car costs $30,000 and you want to put down $10,000, that means a $10,000 deposit, and then you can pay the rest off later. A very sad way to use put down, but this is actually very common, is when you have to kill an animal for medical reasons. For example, if an animal is sick and there's no cure and you don't want the animal to suffer, we say, I had to put down my dog last week. The next one is put off. Put off means to postpone, or we also say push back. For example, because of COVID, many people had to put off their vacation plans for 2020. The next one is to put up with. This means to allow something, usually negative. For example, I don't know why you put up with his behavior for so long. The next one is turn up. This is when you find something unexpectedly. One of the most common uses for turn up is to increase something. Typically the volume. I can't hear the TV. Can you turn up the volume, please? The next one is watch out. Watch out means to be careful. For example, watch out, you're about to fall. If you don't watch out, you're gonna drop your coffee. In this video, I just taught you 25 phrasal verbs. Now that you know these phrasal verbs, how do you learn them? Oftentimes, students get so overwhelmed because they learn so many phrasal verbs and they don't know how to use them. Here's my advice. Take these 25 phrasal verbs and pick 5 every single day that you're going to use in your English. If you have nowhere else to practice, in the comments below, try to form some sentences with these phrasal verbs. Another way to study these is to write them out on cards and study cards every single day. Even if you don't feel comfortable using them yet, They're still beneficial because if you're around native speakers, if you watch English movies and TV shows, or listen to anything in English, you're going to hear phrasal verbs, and now you can understand them better. But take it slowly. Don't try to memorize all 25 at one time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to also share this video with a friend so that they can improve their English too. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.